Well, Jim Moody and Esai, the two of you are in a film that I think is going to be very much talked about and written about, and I think it's safe to say that it is going to be a controversial film. I also have a feeling that it's going to be a very popular film at the box office, so that should make you both very, very happy. Esai, let's talk to you first of all. Now, you grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I have to assume that you are familiar with the kind of environment in which gangs are
bred.
Yes, yes. You're familiar with that environment.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Were you ever a member of a gang?
No, I was never a member of a gang. I was always solicited, you could say. I was always around it. I was on the peripheral, you know? So it was in school, we saw the gang members, we saw what they were going through and what they were making other kids go through. So I was never an actual member, but I was always associated with a couple of, you know, the low-key fellas in the gangs.
How do you account for the fact then that you didn't succumb to the temptation or the peer pressure as other young people did? How do you account for the fact that you didn't?
I pride myself in having compassion for humans. So I love a lot of people, and I can't do some of the things that some of these gangs were doing. You know, I'm the type of guy that was helping the underdogs sneak out of school. You know, occasionally I was sneaking out of school myself, and I don't have the heart to do that. And if I do, it'll be in a film. So that's what I can say about that.
But you had some problems in your life, didn't you? Your
Yes.
parents divorced.
Yes.
You ran away from home several times, or maybe many times.
Yeah, about three times. The first time it was basically because I couldn't go to performing arts, which is the school that, I mean, at 14 it might have been precocious of me to say that I knew what I wanted from life, but that's what I wanted. I felt that that's what I was good at. And it wasn't like a blind dart into darkness. I felt something for that, and I felt that that's where I could use my empathy, compassion, and my mimicking abilities, and have fun, and also reach people and make money.
Now, you went to the School for Performing Arts.
Yes.
How do you think the TV Fame series, how does that grab you?
Do I have to answer?
You do.
Okay. The movie was an amplified version of a certain feeling in the school. Certain people were represented, but not all. And it's an exciting series, but it's not as, I don't know, I think that there are, well, then again, you're dealing with television, okay? So most of television doesn't really go down to the nitty-gritty. I guess it would be boring if television was completely realistic. But I think it's entertaining. That's all I can say. It's basically an entertainment show. It's not a documentary.
Jim, you also went to the School for the Performing Arts, and you were in the movie Fame.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is your feeling then about the whole portrayal of Fame?
Well, as Esai said, it is not a documentary. The school is nothing like that. As a matter of fact, when they were shooting the film in New York, the Board of Education would not allow them to shoot in the actual school itself. I think it's important. I'm glad that it was done. I'm glad that the series is running now quite successfully, because it will perhaps generate some more interest in art for the young. I think that is what pleases me the most about the existence of the series, and it's helping a lot of young people get some work and exposure. But it is not a documentary. I still work at the school, and it's nothing like that at all.
Talking about Bad Boys, you play a supervisor in the correctional institution. Now, what did you find out about that kind of place that you were totally unaware of before, Jim?
I found out not so much about the place, but about the society at large. I rediscovered the inner city again. I found out just how many beautiful young people exist in places like that, and the stark reality of their lives, which I think their parents sometimes overlook as they are concerned about working and trying to make the ends meet. They don't, maybe we should listen to the kids, because it's a very dangerous world that they live in out there from 9 to 5 when you don't see them. I was totally taken back by the stark reality of that, of the kid's life, what they had to go through. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was very moving for me to, especially when we were shooting in the prison itself, and to, over a 3-week period, become close and friendly with those young people. You wanted to do something for them, but there was really nothing we could do.
Jim, are you hopeful for young offenders like that? Do you think that they can be rehabilitated, or do you think that their lives are just a foregone conclusion?
I think they can be rehabilitated, yes. I have done work in several programs of that kind, and the response I've gotten, I guess perhaps because of my involvement and my genuine concern, I've taken people from they're totally given up on life, and they've gone through rehabilitative programs, gone on to colleges. So of course it's possible. I mean, no human being is lost. They have a difficult time, I'm sure, but if they get some help, miracles can be accomplished. There's no such thing as a child that cannot be rehabilitated.
What's the key to it?
Oh, you must be genuine. Do you know what I'm saying? Young people like that, it's like they're developing sixth senses. They can tell when you're playing games with them, and they can definitely tell when you're lying, and they can tell when you're condescending, and you mustn't do that. They'll turn you off, and you'll be stuck in that classroom for the year, and you'll never make it up to them. Do you understand?
Yes. I must congratulate both of you on very good performances in this film, and we'll see when it hits the movie screens just what further reactions we get from it. But meanwhile, very nice meeting you, Jim. Esai, very
Pleasure.
nice meeting you. Thank
My pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now I'll give you some reactions and then some questions.
Yeah.
Are we rolling? You're still rolling. Okay, questions.
Do you want to get some reaction first? Or you want
Oh, I thought you were rolling.
yeah, we'll get reaction first.
Okay. All right.
Okay, go to the question.
All right. Esai, you had some problems as you were growing up. Your parents divorced. You ran away a few times, didn't you? What was it about you that you were able to resist the temptation and the peer pressure of joining a group or a gang? How do you feel about the TV series Fame? You do. All right, Jim. Jim, you were actually in the movie Fame as well as having gone to the school. What do you think about the Fame series? Jim, as you were filming this movie at the correctional institution, what did you learn about that place that you didn't know before? Do you think there's any hope for these young offenders? Do you think they can be rehabilitated? Do you think rehabilitation of these young offenders is possible? Okay, that ought to do it. Okay.
That's it. What a great memory. That's it.